Come sit with me for a second. Being with you felt like becoming someone else. But the truth is, I didn't have someone to become. I didn't lose myself in you. I never knew who I was to begin with. So you're right. That made it easier for me to try on your version of me. The quiet one, the agreeable one, the one who didn't read books, didn't question your logic, didn't trust her own voice because yours sounded more educated. You had language I didn't. Therapy sessions I didn't sit in, books I didn't crack open, and somehow that made me think you knew more about me than I did. You would talk about the sky and how it was blue, and I believe you because I didn't have a reason not to. Not because it made sense, but because I never took the time to think for myself. I let your logic become law because mine felt like it didn't exist. I don't know became my safety net, my escape route every time I didn't feel smart enough to stay in a conversation. It was that I didn't trust what I knew. And that's the part that hurts because I gave you authority to tell me who I was. And I wore the labels like I wore silence, wore shame of not being deep enough or not being enough, period. I was just quiet in rooms where I should have been speaking. Rooms where I thought love meant agreeing. Where I mistook silence for safety and obedience for peace. I don't want to be the girl who hands her voice to someone else because she's too afraid of what it might sound like. Because I wasn't dumb. I was just dimmed. Dimmed by comparison, by the way he spoke with certainty, by the way I felt small for not knowing the right words at the right time. And maybe it wasn't that I didn't have thoughts of my own. Maybe it was just that I didn't take the time to let my brain work. Or maybe I was just so intimidated by his intelligence that I started to believe I didn't have any of my own. Now when something feels off, I sit, I listen, I understand instead of swallowing it and ignoring it. Now when I feel small, I ask myself if I'm shrinking or just standing next to someone who never left room for me to grow. But that's not up to them, right? I remember that one time in therapy when I said I used to shut down because I felt like I didn't have nothing to say. And my therapist looked dead at me and said, yes, you do. You have a voice and you need to use it. And she was right because I do. I always did. I would talk to myself in my head, but when it came to you to explain how I felt, I didn't know what to say. So now this realignment, this slow learning and me becoming has taught me something that no man, no book or therapist could, that I do have something to say and it matters. My feelings are valid. Even if I'm still finding my words, they're mine. And I would never say I don't know when I really mean I'm thinking.